So one of the things, or one of the reasons why I'm speaking out more about cryptocurrency is because I don't feel like a lot of people are doing it justice. I feel like a lot of people in the space understand the space and may not understand that people outside of the world of crypto may not fully understand the capabilities and the technological advancements that it makes possible. So when I first really started delving into cryptocurrency, I thought it was about investing money. I thought it was just something that was similar to stocks that I can invest my money in and possibly make a return or see a profit in the long term. But what I've really come to understand that is such a depth within the field, within the space, that is so much that can be understood. And it takes a lot of time and effort to really wrap your brain around all the capabilities that it possesses. And that's one of the things that really got me into it. So basically, what I'm saying is that it's not just about cryptocurrency, it's not just digital money, it's so much more. Cryptocurrency is a technology, and the blockchain technology makes so many things possible. We're talking about virtual worlds, the metaverse, where it's basically a simultaneous universe in a virtual space. We're talking about decentralized finance, where you could basically be your own debtor and creditor. You could do what the banks are doing with your money when you give it to them. You could be your own bank, your own banker. You could get loans with percentage rates that'll blow out of the water any institutional bank or credit union in the United States. You're talking about NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens. Basically, that's ownership. That's a certificate of ownership and authenticity for whatever you may create or purchase on the blockchain. Now, for those of us that are creators and artists, that's a whole new level of ownership. It is just so much that is made possible by cryptocurrency and the blockchain technology. And people really need to understand it, especially Black people. People in the African American community really need to be up on it because it's still new to a certain degree. It's still in its infantile and early stages. It has a market cap, basically, cryptocurrency has a market cap of $2 trillion. Apple stocks alone have $2 trillion market cap. So that lets you know the potential for the growth. And so, what I'm encouraging you to do, if you don't understand NFTs, if you don't know what Bitcoin is, if you saw the Dogecoin craze and saw people running to purchase it and you didn't know what that was or where people were purchasing it from, attend this course. You'll get a deep understanding on all of these things. And it's important to have an understanding before you try to make money. It is important to learn within the crypto space before you try to earn within the crypto space. It's important that before you start making the decision whether you're going to be an investor or a trader or what particular branch of the crypto world you're going to get into and focus on, that you have a solid foundation of knowledge and information, because that way you're not getting scammed. You're not out here just wasting and throwing away money. You're not gambling, because this is not Las Vegas. It is something that takes a skill set and a fine-tuned mind and a clear understanding and concept of what you're doing. So join me for Black Coin, cryptocurrency one-on-one for the Black community. And what we're going to be discussing is why it is important, why you should be entering the space, why you should be getting in now, why you should be considering Bitcoin, and why you should be involved in understanding blockchain technology. So basically, I want you to click the link and register today. The value that you're going to receive is far beyond the price tag of this course. You're going to learn so much. And if you can sit with me for 2 hours and listen to the things that I have to share with you, it could be something that could change your life for the long term. Peace, blessings, family. I hope to see you in the course. much more. And the blockchain technology makes so many things possible. We're talking about virtual worlds, the metaverse, where it's basically a simultaneous universe in a virtual space, decentralized finance, where you could basically be your own debtor and creditor. You could do what the banks are doing with your money when you give it to them. You're talking about NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens. Basically, that's ownership. That's a certificate of ownership and authenticity for whatever you may create or purchase on the blockchain. And people really need to understand it because it's still new to a certain degree. Join me for Cryptocurrency 101. Basically, I want you to click the link and register today.
We see New York, the incoming mayor of New York City indicate that there's, he will do something similar. And what Miami has done is the mayor has created, has adapted Miami Coin and made it so that, the plan is to pay, city workers in, that token, also use it to optimize more efficiencies. And they've seen that we return of the return on investment insofar that the latest report is that the mayor is looking at how to share those dividends, those earnings with citizens, right? And which will be sharing that through a wallet, I assume. There's a lot of, in play in terms of the execution. But, the great thing about it, we also see countries looking at central bank digital currencies that are powered by cryptocurrency. So what Venezuela is doing is unique to them, and we'll see how that works out. But we do have some great examples in the US, and I would say Miami Coin is, a great example of that.
Can I just add quickly to that? Because
Please.
we're headquartered in Boston, but we actually have an office in Miami. And so, I know very well what's happening there. And I will tell you that there are Bitcoin ATMs currently in bodegas in our community in Miami today. So it is very much accessible, where you can buy and sell Bitcoin in a bodega through an ATM.
This is much further along, I think, than a lot of people realize.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Did you know that it's in Coinstar machines? You can buy Bitcoin, Stop and Shop, Star Market, Shaw's, they all have Coinstars. So Coinstar is now enabling you to get what I call an ice cold wallet. So you've got the hot wallet on the exchange, the warm wallet, which is that software that you download. You've got the cold wallet, which is the physical device. But these ones will actually spit out a piece of paper, an ice cold wallet, and you can transfer cryptocurrency right at your grocery store.
Which is, I mean, it's absolutely fascinating, the notion that you can do this. And again, the notion that we're much further along than what many people realize.
Mhm.
Now, Ruben, what about exchanging cash, money, paper for Bitcoin?
Yeah, I mean, that's
It's
definitely. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, Ruben, you go.
Yeah, I think that's I actually didn't know that Coinstar was doing that, but that's an extremely powerful way to engage with Bitcoin. What I think is so exciting about that is you have the ability to take paper US dollars, and if you can go and just sort of quickly exchange it into Bitcoin, you can do a couple things with that. You can hold it as an investment. I think we've kind of talked about that. But it's sort of been alluded to prior in the broadcast. You can also send that anywhere in the world for pretty cheap. And that's really powerful for people that want to move money, have remittance payments they need to make, and are just excluded from the financial system.
Oh, remittances are a really interesting topic. That, of course, is what many countries that have high immigration numbers in the United States rely upon. The Philippines relies on remittances from Filipinos in the United States, as true for El Salvador, all of Central America, and so let's talk a little bit more about those remittances.
Yes.
If you're, for example, if you're living in Boston or Miami or Baltimore, anywhere, and you belong to an immigrant community, and you have been concerned for years about the amounts of money that you send home, is Bitcoin really advantageous compared to
Hugely.
traditional means of remittances? Shalaya?
Hugely. I can say this. I have an international retail business. I do business with folks in West Africa mostly, but all over countries in Africa. So before, when I was sending them payments for the arts that they've made or for the things that they've made for me that I bring back here and I sell, I would send them money through Western Union or MoneyGram. MoneyGram or Western Union or one of those other financial institutions that we go through, they can charge up to 25%. So if I'm sending $100, I'm really sending $75. They get $25 of it. So with Bitcoin, it's a decentralized cryptocurrency that uses peer-to-peer technology. So we keep talking about these wallet addresses. This peer-to-peer technology from one place, one destination on Bitcoin's blockchain network to another one, it's verified by miners. Miners say that some cryptocurrency went from this wallet address to this wallet address. Those miners get a transaction fee, but that transaction fee is pennies on the dollar, pennies in comparison to what people are paying for remittance fees to send money from the United States to their country of origin, to their friends and family. So what we can say is instead of paying those remittance fees, what you're doing now is you're allowing that much more to go into the pockets of your friends and family and be able to help them out in other countries. So that is a major, major advantage. And that's why some people are deciding that they're, instead of going to send US dollars, they're going to instead get a wallet like I've done, and another wallet for the folks on the other end. And then we're bringing those things closer together and decreasing that remittance fee.
That is a powerful argument. Oh, go on. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to echo what Shalaya was saying, is that the remittance opportunities, I'm from the Caribbean, in Latin America, has been game changing. And once it's more broadly adapted, imagine being able to send money directly to Auntie instead of having to go through, the high fees. Now, I do want to, step back a little bit and make sure that, we're being a bit a bit more tempered in our analysis. Like we talked about the Bitcoin ATMs, the cryptocurrency ATMs that have popped up in bodegas all over the country, in New York City, in Chicago. You know, that's a sign of adoption, but that's also a sign that we need more education, because those fees in those ATMs are high, ridiculously high, and they shouldn't be. And they're high in Black and brown communities, right? Because that's where those ATMs are being placed right now. And we're talking about, you know, adoption.
You mean high fees? Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Okay.
the fees for the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency ATMs.
Mhm.
But also, you know, adoption is happening at a pace that people can't keep up, and people have FOMO, they want to get in. And that's why education is so critical, because if we don't take the time to make sure people have access to education, that they understand, you know, and are buying cryptocurrencies responsibly, we're going to create an environment where Congress is going to feel the need to impose greater consumer protections. And I know, you know, for Shalia, and I'm probably butchering your name, but everyone butchers mine. For, you know, Black Bitcoin Billionaires is doing that education piece, you know, for the work that I do with the Blockchain Association and my organization. We do that, but I do want your audience to know that it's important to really educate themselves and to really make sure that they're getting more information before making decisions about cryptocurrency.
The power of those who are promulgating this as alternative to traditional currency, that was pretty much exhibited very well during this debate over the infrastructure. As someone pointed out earlier, a key part of the infrastructure bill, I think the bill was held up in part due to concerns by the cryptocurrency industry. Explain that further. How might that be advantageous to folks sitting in the trenches? This aspect of the infrastructure bill, cryptocurrency.
Well, there's actually
Terry, perhaps you could, if you will.
Well, actually, I'm not familiar with, so maybe
Okay.
Cleve can talk about what's in the infrastructure bill,
Sure.
because I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, so the infrastructure bill, in the pay for section of the bill, Biden has said that he's going to be able to generate $28 billion from the crypto community. But how he's going to do that is what continues to concern the crypto community. So that $28 billion, the administration is proposing expanding the definition of broker from your exchanges, like your Krakens, like your Geminis, like your, you know, Binance US, and extend that definition of broker to also include software and hardware developers, stakers and miners. So imagine that if you're a software hardware developer, and that's where a lot of the Black and Latinx innovators are actually building, and all of a sudden you're being taxed the same way that, you know, Kraken is or that Gemini is. Right? That's an undue burden.
Structure bill,
Sure.
because I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, so the infrastructure bill, in the pay for section of the bill, Biden has said that he's going to be able to generate $28 billion from the crypto community. But how he's going to do that is what continues to concern the crypto community. So that $28 billion, the administration is proposing expanding the definition of broker from your exchanges, like your Krakens, like your Geminis, like your, you know, Binance US, and extend that definition of broker to also include software and hardware developers, stakers and miners. So imagine that if you're a software hardware developer, and that's where a lot of the Black and Latinx innovators are actually building, and all of a sudden you're being taxed the same way that, you know, Kraken is or that Gemini is, right? That's an undue burden on innovation, on inclusion. So you're not actually, you know, burdening the large exchanges. The decentralized exchange can handle it. Right now, you're imposing a restriction on, well, a financial burden on, you know, miners and stakers, software and hardware developers, that they actually have now to collect information that they don't have the capacity to, and also they're going to have a financial burden. So that's the problem of this bill. We fought this on the Senate side. We didn't have as much luck on the House side. And when we pushed back, Secretary Yellen, the Secretary of Treasury, was forced to answer this question that this is an undue burden on innovation, on inclusion, especially that's where Black and Latinx innovators are. And the response was that right now their intent is not to impose those big compliance issues on the smaller players, but they reserve the right to, and that's why it's in the bill. You cannot regulate that way. You want the right to impose these rules now, even though you don't plan to right now, in case it becomes okay down the line. And we're hoping, even though the infrastructure bill, the president will sign it, I think Monday he indicates, we're still going to fight that. We're working with members on the Senate and House side to add legislation to remove stakers, miners, software and hardware developers. That's not fair. That is not how you pay for a bill.
It's yet one of the many impediments that you're coming up against. Your detractors also, Ruben, talk about we talk about, of course, the positive aspects of cryptocurrency, but those who feel that it is risky as an investment strategy also point to other issues. They point to the impact on the climate in how you mine cryptocurrency. They point to the fact that it is heavily used by the underground trade, by folks in the life, by criminal organizations. How do you basically balance the advantages and disadvantages of cryptocurrency and its exploitation, if you will, by those who, of course, see this as a way of carrying out illicit activity? Ruben.
Yeah, I think crypto, and blockchain as a whole was built on a very specific philosophy, and this philosophy was freedom, self-ownership, self-sovereignty. And so the ability to do things like enter into the system that has no intermediaries, it's completely permissionless. Anybody can come in and interact with it in any way they choose. That comes with the ability to also come in and interact with it in ways that we might look at and say that's unethical, or maybe that's not the best. That's a trade-off that we see all the time even in highly regulated systems. For example, the United States government. We have protections like freedom of speech, where we say the government is not going to interfere with, by and large, with the things that you're able to say. And that comes with people having the ability to say things that an individual might disagree with. So personally, I look at that and I skew towards, I like that there's a system out there that doesn't have gatekeepers, that lets people in. And there are some negatives, but you can generally avoid those through self-education, and by interacting with the system, only insofar as you're comfortable.
Okay, let's go around and in terms of a wrap up, and ask you this question, starting with you, Ruben. What would you do next? You personally do next in order to engage Black and Brown communities in something that all of you have been involved in for a long time? We've talked about ATMs. We've talked about promulgating this online. What would be the next step that you would take in your capacity to engage Black and Brown audiences and to bring them into the cryptocurrency orbit, if you will?
Yeah, I think my passion lies kind of along the educational axis. And so I think that the next big step is getting people, I think most people now are sort of aware of what's going on in the blockchain space. People have heard of Bitcoin or DeFi or NFTs or something. But a lot of people still don't quite understand what it is, and maybe more importantly, don't understand the opportunities. And so I would really like to see a lot more people from communities of color coming in and getting involved in the industry as investors, but also as creators. This is a system that is, I think I mentioned before, it's fairly anti-credentialist. You can come in, and if you can do the work, if you can provide value, there's a place for you. And it gets you in really, really early in a pretty hot and emerging industry.
Terry?
So again, I would just recommend that everyone be in it, even if it's, $50, $100 to basically open up a wallet and purchase some crypto just to experience it. Yes, absolutely education. I think all of us, sort of share that passion, and I think you can approach all of us or any of us, including now you, Philip, because it's going to be on your site, information about crypto. So education is key, but it also makes a difference when you actually experience the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows of cryptocurrency, so you can assess for yourself, whether or not this is something you want to include as part of your investment strategy.
Shalaya?
So what I would suggest that we do, we need everything in the cryptocurrency space, right? We need everything. So we need people that are creating content. We need content creators that are educators. We need people that are working around blockchain technology, because there are a lot of jobs. 70% of the jobs that will be created in 10 years have not been created. So what does that mean? That means that our high school students, our middle school students, our elementary school students need to know about cyber world. They need to know about blockchain technology. This is what I do. Like every morning I get on and I teach people about the basics of Bitcoin, and then we have other discussion rooms. So what I would suggest that people do right now is find someone that you think has information about this, basic information, learn that basic information about blockchain technology, like Cleve said, and learn the basics of Bitcoin, because they're two different things. They're two different things. And what I don't want to happen is for people in our community to go down the path of something like a meme coin and altcoin and go off the edge. So I really think that what we need to do is educate, create, educate, create, bring more things, and be the purveyors and the providers of these things that we're going to need for the future. So that's what I would say. My name is Dr. Schler. I'm sure I'm done speaking.
And believe me, you're going to hear from quite a few people. Cleve?
I do want to wrap up by saying the illicit use of crypto issue. I don't want that to deter people, because I do think that, when it comes to climate and the impact of mining, the industry is being responsible. We're looking at alternative energy uses, and the hype about that is people should do their research on that. And when you look at illicit use for criminal activity, no criminal will tell any criminal will tell you cash is still king when it comes to activity, right? So, but criminals are going to use whatever works, so cryptocurrency works, but law enforcement will tell you what cryptocurrency has created is a way to track money, right? So the industry is working with law enforcement, and we're tracking money, and we're actually finding the bad actors. So the industry is being very responsible when it comes to climate, when it comes to illicit use. And really quickly, crypto is like layaway. You can just buy a fraction of it, right? So don't have sticker shock. And also, the best way to actually access the community is to create a merchant account. If you're a nonprofit, an e-commerce, a small business, create a merchant account today. You don't have to buy it. You can start accepting it, and now you'll have access to a whole new consumer base.
Well, Cleve, you get the last word, and that was this entire discussion is extraordinary. It shows you that the future is now. Cleve, Shalaya, Ruben, Terry, thank you all. Much appreciated. I'm Philip Martin, and this is Basic Black.
EVE Online on Mac. immerses you in a universe with thousands of star systems like never before.
Bitcoin is money, very simply put. It is a digital currency that can be sent to anybody in the world. Peer-to-peer, meaning nobody can stop the transaction. It's open 24/7, Monday to Sunday. Anytime you want to use it, you can. And this money is scarce, meaning a lot of people want it. And as demand rises, meaning more people want it, and there's only a certain amount of Bitcoin, that means that the value goes up. So you can see over time why Bitcoin's increased, and you can send it to your friends. Only hesitancy I would say I've seen in the Black community, for one, we don't trust anything. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that. Black people, they don't trust nothing. You can't, especially with their money. And I understand it because there's a lot of snake oil salesmen that sell the world trying to say you can get rich overnight. That's not what Bitcoin is at all. It is literally a different money system. It's the first time in Black history in America that we can actually own our wealth. Because the system we're in now, eminent domain can take away your house. We've seen that with gentrification. If you have gold, you're working with a third party. You have to get it from them. Silver, any other assets you speak of, it's in somebody else's possession. But you can own Bitcoin, own your wealth. And for Black people, that's paramount. There is no value we can put on that. So at first, Black people, they don't believe it. And the reasons being is that they don't understand how important it is. They think it's just an investment. I think media does a good job of putting out bad information. They say it's, oh, some dude got caught, hacking a wallet with Bitcoin. It's like, nobody hacked Bitcoin. That's not what happened. So I think media does a good job of that. But I think Black people are starting to realize in the economy we're in now, Bitcoin is a good plan B option. So hopefully those fears will go away. I would say get some skin in the game. You can buy $1 worth of Bitcoin on Cash App right now. $1 worth. Just get some skin in the game, see how the price moves over time, just to see how it works. Maybe, get $5 worth, send it to a friend, download a wallet. Certain things that you should do just to get comfortable, certain steps you can take that are not very hard. And also I would encourage people that you can earn Bitcoin. You don't have to buy it. I think people look at it as an investment too much. You can actually accept it for your business. You can actually get Bitcoin rewards for buying things you already buy, like with cashback rewards, you can get it with Bitcoin. So some of those things make people comfortable. For example, it's a service called Lolly. You can get things from Sephora, from Nike, from Lolly. It's 1,000 stores. You get cashback rewards in the form of Bitcoin. Like I buy way too much Postmates, but I get 3.5% back in Bitcoin. The $300 worth of Postmates I spent last year is like 2,000 worth right now. And I didn't do anything. I think that makes people comfortable that you shop anyway, and I'm earning Bitcoin and you see the value of it increase. That definitely makes people comfortable. So you can take those steps and I think you'll be all right. The safest thing to do is, for one, is to start with Bitcoin because that has proven the safest asset. 100% of people who bought Bitcoin to this point in its history are in profit. So it's the safest, it's a layup investment. So I would allocate 90% to Bitcoin just because it's safe. You put it there, you can let it sit long term, and it's scarce. There's not much going around. And I think the value of Bitcoin will be far more than anything else. Now, with the other 10%, I would say if you want to buy Ethereum, that's a good second option to use for smart contracts or to save long term. I think Ethereum will succeed as a platform where people can build dApps and things of that nature, NFTs, which are booming now. So I think Ethereum would be good to go with just to start. Bitcoin 90%, Ethereum 10%, and then study, read. I hate when people get into the market and think they're gonna get rich overnight because they saw a couple YouTube channels. It's like, no. Everybody I always say has to pay tuition because they lose money doing dumb stuff, over trading, thinking you're a trader. Listen, people, 98% of traders lose money over a 10-year span. If you're in that 2%, good for you. I do know some people in that 2%, but if you don't have an algorithmic bot, or if you're not a traditionally trained finance margin trader, you should probably not be trading anyway. So you should be dollar cost averaging, buying small amounts over time, and being able to see that money grow long term. So first thing is security. There's no point in having this money in the crypto market if you can get taken from you. So I think Black people need to understand strong security, even if you're not computer literate and you think you can't get it. There's some easy steps to keep your money secure. All you need is a hardware wallet, and you need to write down your passcode or your key, and you need to store it in a notebook. And I would say 2 different notebooks, and then make sure that you keep it, because if you lose it, it's gone. With much power comes much responsibility. So if you can own your own wealth, you have to understand you need to keep it. So security is number 1. There's no point in having it if it can get taken. Number 2 is, I would say some of the pitfalls I've seen is over trading. There's people who get into this market and think, I'm gonna flip in and out of cryptos and I'm gonna get a Lambo and all this and rainbows in the sky. No, that I've seen so many people. I've seen a guy make 1.2 million, and because he thought the crypto market goes up forever, lose 800,000 of it in a summer because he just over traded. He just kept flipping in and out during the bear market. Didn't make any sense. And again, he still came away, in the green. But if he would have just bought Bitcoin, I think he would have had like 17 million right now. So that's what I tell people. It's like, I've seen it all. It's like this only strategy that is almost guaranteed to work, almost 100% guaranteed to work, is dollar cost averaging Bitcoin and wait. Literally 100% of people, if you wait 3.5 years, you get there. So over trading would be the second thing. And I think the last thing I would say is listening to the media. The media lies, people. We're adults here. They stop thinking they gotta tell you the truth. Why would they give you the key to your success? If that was the case, everybody would be successful. They're telling you the opposite, while the people who are in the background are doing the exact opposite. For example, there are at least 6 banks now who are trying to adopt crypto, have their own, central bank digital currencies. I can show you the articles from 3 years ago where they said it was trash. It's a Ponzi scheme. Mark Cuban said bananas are better than Bitcoin. Come on, man. And now he has Dogecoin on his balance sheet, and he sells tickets for Bitcoin and Dogecoin. All these people, stop listening to media, Black people. They lie about Black people, and they also lie about Bitcoin. Anything that threatens the status quo, they lie about it. So stop listening to the media, don't overtrade, and make sure you secure your stuff.
Sell online and grow your business with Wix e-commerce. Create a beautiful storefront for your brand by customizing product pages, gallery,
Microphone is on. Let me repeat that. That's a wrap for now. I hope you liked the video. Hope you learned something. Hope you have a little more interest now. Just remember, Latinos and Black are the majority of the investors in the crypto space, according to polls and surveys. I don't know how accurate the information is. There's not much information out there about cryptocurrency. It's like a big secret. But listen, Nancy Pelosi is a huge crypto investor. There are people that are like into the stock market, celebrities. I mean, 9 out of 10 of these celebrities that you see and you think they made millions and millions on their music. The music industry is not what it used to be. Merely impossible. Technology made the whole music industry totally easier to become an artist because everything's digital. But all these artists that are like super millionaires, don't be fooled. They're rich, they're wealthy, they're financially great because of crypto. They just don't want to share the secret. So, you're only going to hear the bad news about crypto. And unfortunately, if you get caught in a scam or somebody tricks you or somebody, takes your money and says, hey, Maria, I'm going to invest this money for you. First of all, that's a red flag. Crypto hasn't been around long enough for anybody to even, there's no regulation yet. And I'm glad they're going to do some regulations because that'll protect the market. And my point is, if you get scared, if you have a very bad experience with crypto, you're going to probably back away from it. I had a bad experience because I made a mistake. It wasn't anything with a scam. I first got into crypto. I got scared. I seen the market going down. I sold my money trying to salvage, what my investment was. And long story short, you do that within minutes, seconds, hours, or a day or a week. When you're ready to buy back in, you have to buy less because you lost money, because you got scared. So that's like one of the things I talk about. And I just wanted to share this information. And as one of the ladies said in the video, I think it was Terry, I don't remember her name, she said, what she would like to put out there is something I say in every video. There need to be more content creators on YouTube, on social media that are honest about crypto and that take the time out of their day to come on the platform and educate. Now, what I'm saying is not what you have to do. It's not what you should do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you on this channel what I do, what I've learned, and the what to do's and the what not to do's from my experiences. There was nobody giving me that information when I first got in. So that's why I'm saying if you have any knowledge about crypto and you're going to be 100% legit with your information and you really want to educate people from the heart, please create a channel and like, subscribe, share, come on my platform. And if you have, something to share with the people, create a channel, because there's not enough honest people out there explaining the whole truth about cryptocurrency. So with that said, good night, God bless, take care, and invest wisely. Crypto Granny.